Welcome back, everybody. We are live once again back here at vBrownBag. Mr. Tinderholt, welcome to the show. As we find out so often on the show, things happen to go awry. Mark got himself a brand new Macintosh, and so we will figure out how to get things to work on it as we are doing this show. So
I might be right back, actually. So Safari has to quit. So.
And there he goes. Thanks, everybody. That was the last show for the year. Have a great night. We'll talk to you later. Mark, if you have to bounce out to like redo things, that's totally fine. We can sit here and chat. Shala just joined us. Hey, Shala, how are you doing? Oh, wait, add to the stage. Wait, there's two Mark Tinderholts now. Oh no, there's the other one. So there's one at the top. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put him right next to you. Look at this. There we go. I'm leaving that one right there. This is brilliant.
There's two.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Right, hold on. Let me get rid of that one. There we go. Welcome, everybody, to the last episode of vBrag for the year. We are now back from reInvent. This is.
I can't hear you.
We can hear you, Mark.
Yes. We can hear you, Mark. Damien, yes. You weren't on last week. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Yeah, I just needed a break. Work has been very worky, and I just needed a night off. Go hang out with the wife and, decompress. So, yeah. But I heard that Mr. Tinderholt was going to be on tonight. And I said, there is no way on Beyonce's Green Earth that I am going to miss Mark Tinderholt. So
same. Hard same. Yeah. Once he talked about what he was going to be talking about and the presentation that he gave. Now, Mark, is this similar to the presentation that you gave at reInvent? Oh, apparently he still can't hear us. So we'll figure out what's going on with him after.
Does anybody know ASL?
I was just thinking that.
Oh my gosh, if we had only had Rob Koch on the episode to help us out. Shala, how are you doing? It's been a week. What have you been up to?
Dude, I am tired. I'm not gonna hold you. He just disappears. I love how this is how the show is shaping up today. But yeah, no, I think the show's going about how I feel, which is tired.
Oh.
I gotta finish some video editing for a release tomorrow. So
I am also, if I'm being perfectly honest, cooked as well. I've been on PTO for the past since Monday, and I'm enjoying it, but I'm also kind of like low key also moving some Monday.com cards around on my work board just so I can like hit the ground running in the new year.
Yeah.
Chris. No, sir.
I'm
bad, Chris.
Kim literally did the exact same thing. She was like, "What are you doing?
You gotta rest, man."
She was like, "Go play video games." I'm so mad. She's like,
take a nap.
She's like, "We've got Stranger Things to watch. We've got Murders in the Buildings we got to watch, and you're sitting here booking vBrownBags."
Well, that's
keep
fine.
In mind
that doesn't count as work.
Because keep in mind, 2026 is going to start, and when it starts,
it started. Yeah, no, I get it. I will say though, I am extraordinarily proud of the fact that we, for the year 2026, are already booked out until almost August with speakers.
That's impressive.
It was nuts. I was talking to some friends and I hadn't thought about this, but like when I go to a conference, everybody there is kind of, very excited and stuff. And everybody just kind of says yes to things. And they're like, well, why don't you just book people while you're at conferences? Just like as you're having these conversations, as you're taking folks out to dinner, while they feel beholden to you, why don't you?
Yeah, that's actually a really good a really good thing to do. When I was at GitHub, the GitHub conference, not this year, but last year, I didn't corner people as much. I was like, I'll follow up after the show, but then it loses the urgency, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So
Indeed.
So I did a bunch of follow-ups, and we're golden for like a good strong run in 2026 already. And I haven't even done the 2025 recap yet. So yeah,
That must feel real good, man.
it does. It really does.
8 months of runway. That's crazy.
Mr. Tinderholt, welcome back, and you can hear us.
I can. Yeah, that was kind of. I was like, "Am I on screen?" Oh, I'm on screen. I can't hear anything they're saying. So lovely.
Totally fine. So when you told me about this talk, I was immediately excited and intrigued, obviously, because Terraform hearts, and I also am a gamer, as anybody that's been watching the show for a hot second knows. So when you said that you played Minecraft using providers, I was like, oh, tell me more. I need to know all about this. So you were at reInvent, yes?
I was not at reInvent. I went to.
No, you were at Ignite.
I was at Microsoft Ignite. Yeah,
That's right. Sorry about that. Yeah, no,
it's okay.
There were Microsoft people at reInvent, so it's not a completely off the wall question. It's not. I mean, they had a booth. It wasn't. I'm not like.
Really? Wow! I didn't realize we had like a presence there. Like,
oh yeah.
I'm just a lowly engineer, so I'm just tickled that they let me come to Ignite. So I had to pay my pound of flesh working at the booth. To get my ticket to the conference. So it was, but yeah, it was an amazing time. Holy cow! It was so much fun. Yeah,
it's one of those things where it happened. You spend so much time worrying about it and stressing about it and thinking about it, and then it's over in a flash. Like you literally blink. And for me, reInvent is like one of the biggest events of the year. Not only because I work for HashiCorp, but I'm also an AWS hero. So like the competing things that are happening from like IBM salespeople want me to like go do this with those people. It's super fun, but at the same time, you're literally you light your hair on fire at 6 a.m. in the morning. You go until midnight. Then you pass out exhausted in your hotel room, and then you wake up and you do it all over again the next day.
Yep.
Charlotte was there. She knows exactly what's up.
Yeah. Part of why I'm tired. It's been a busy conference season for me. So
awesome. All right. Well, we have like a lot to get through. So why don't we add this to the stage? There we go.
Boom. There we go.
Working. Fabulous.
Aww.
The Mac is working. Everything has been fixed.
Not everything. I mean,
Nope.
So like I got it working by sharing a window. So
Okay.
It's going to make it a little bit awkward when I get to demo time, because I'm going to only be able to share VS Code, and then I'm going to have to cut over to the game and share the game. But we'll figure it out. Yeah,
we'll do it live.
Totally. So I gave this talk at Ignite, and the funny story about Ignite, like how Ignite happened. I've been a Microsoft employee for like 4 years now, and like I've always wondered, kind of in my fanboy way, like how do these people get to go to like these conferences and stuff? And I stumbled across an internal call for content page, and I was like, okay, like I'm not gonna not submit to this, So
Yep.
I just submitted to it just on a total lark. I think it was actually used for official business, like by product teams. But I'm just like, you know what? Let's go. So I rolled the dice, and I forgot about it, and then like somebody actually called me back, and so the next thing I know, I'm on stage at Ignite. It was amazing.
Yeah, maybe it was just my experience at VMware, but it seemed like being an employee and getting a speaking session was like really, really difficult, right? Like there was a much better shot of not employees being able to speak. So
Honestly,
that is
it kind of depends
great.
on which company you work for too.
Yeah,
Some companies it's easier for internal folks. It depends upon the story too. That's an entire other episode though. I could go into that.
I think if you're on a product team making an announcement, like you're in, right?
Yeah.
A lot of my MVP friends, like it's hard. Like there's a certain number of reserve spots for MVPs. And it's very like slim pickings. Like it's a huge honor. And so this is like, I'm not making an announcement. This is like barely related to like Azure and like what we do. But it's just a really lighthearted take, and something about it like stuck with them. But yeah. So
because it's cool.
Well,
it's pretty cool. Yeah.
So a little bit of
lot
a
of fun.
shameless self-promotion. Your MVP friends, if they have a session that they were not able to present at Ignite, they are welcome to come present it here.
There you go.
Good call.
As
I
long as
will.
there's no marketing.
No, yeah. MVPs, they're all about sharing knowledge and all that stuff. They're good.
Yeah.
Good.
And I'm
They're good
going to beat Shaw to the punch this time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, everybody.
Well done. Well
And ring
done.
that
Thanks.
bell.
I'm learning. I'm learning at the feet of the master.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some infrastructure as code through Minecraft.
Yeah. So the whole premise is like learn infrastructure as code the fun way through Minecraft. So like I'm trying to like impart some of these nuggets, these concepts and principles through a lot of like gratuitous Minecraft metaphors. So be ready for that. So the whole premise is like, are you ready to become a super parent? Like go build your kids a Minecraft server. And this is how I got into it, right? Like my son was like 8, and he's like, Dad, like play Minecraft with me. It's so cool. Like he and I also already shared a bond with Lego, and so he tried to get me into Minecraft. I'm like, nah, I resisted very, very long. But he finally got me into it. And I was like, oh, we could build our own world. This might be a great way to teach him Linux, And so I'm like, I'll play Minecraft with you. Let's build a Minecraft server together. And he's like, yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm like, and so we get started. 15 minutes later, he's like, okay, I'm going to go over there and you let me know when the server's ready. And kids. So I failed at like teaching my son, Linux, but we automated a Minecraft server, and I'm basically showing you how to build a Minecraft server for your kids. So maybe you might have better luck showing your kids how to build a Minecraft server, or if you want to go build your own Minecraft server, go do it. Have fun. It's kind of a fun way to learn the infrastructure as code tools that we use to build actual enterprise systems and on the actual cloud in this kind of fun way. So that's kind of what it is. You're learning how to build a Minecraft server, and you're learning infrastructure as code too. So it's fun and educational. So kind of like it starts at the basics, right? Like what is infrastructure as code, right? And it's really about like taking the same practices that we have with application code, but applying it to infrastructure. And so that means we have code and it describes something. Application code describes GUIs and interfaces and REST APIs, but infrastructure code describes the actual environments that host that stuff, right? Whatever it is. So it's kind of the same principle, but applying it to the environment, not to the actual thing. And that configuration spans multiple layers, right? You have the cloud services configuration, which is a lot of times what people think of when they think of it. AWS, Azure, like let me spin up some EC2s and VMs and whatnot, and VNets, cider blocks, whatever. But then there's also operating system configuration, right? That like when you're configuring that, if it's a VM, like you got to lay down the tracks of like what's installed on there. Containers as another form of this. Like if in your Docker file, you're essentially defining what's like in that, what's running on the operating system. And then there's also layers above that, which, is kind of like application. You could think of it as like middleware, right? And this could even be something like Kubernetes configuration, right? Kubernetes is a platform, right? So this is more like the application / platform layer, I'd say, right? Where you have software that runs on that infrastructure, runs on that operating system, and you want to configure it, right? And so I gave a talk at Hashi Days in Sydney. I was talking about Grafana, right? Grafana is kind of like that platform. It also has configuration that sits on top of it. right? So infrastructure as code is not just like, EC2 instances. It's actually a mesh of these things, right? And so what is on our crafting table, right? Where there's lots of little tools. The tools that I'm going to be focusing on today are Packer and Terraform, because I spin up my Minecraft server on a VM. You could do it on a container. I think a colleague of mine, Matt White, did it in an Azure container app. So he used a Docker image. And so like with this approach, like we're going to have to lay down the cloud services configuration. There's going to be VNets, there's going to be subnets, there's going to be, VMs and all that stuff. And we're going to provision that using the Azure RM Terraform provider. But then there's operating system configuration. Today, we're going to be using Packer, right? Or I'll probably just show you like the Packer, and show you the Terraform. And this is going to install all the Minecraft, things, that need to be there. Like you need the JDK, you need the Minecraft bits, and you need some OS config, right? That needs to be in place in order to get a healthy and happy Minecraft server. And then, application configuration. This is where, it gets a little bit whimsical because the platform layer that I'm automating is not like Grafana or Kubernetes or some cool thing that sits on top of the infrastructure that we use in the enterprise space. The thing that platform that I'm automating is the actual Minecraft world itself, right? So it's kind of parallel to that application or platform layer that you'll automate with things like the Grafana provider, the Datadog provider, whatever provider that's at that platform layer. But it's Minecraft. Yeah. So with Kubernetes workloads, we're stitching these together, right? We use Terraform, for the cloud service configuration. We use Docker for that operating system configuration. We might use Helm, right, to deploy to that Kubernetes cluster. With Azure Container Apps, similar story, but we're not using Helm to deploy our containers to the Azure Container App. We just use another Terraform resource to deploy that container app, point it at the image, and we're off to the races. And then there's also other ways to stitch this together with different tool chains, right? When you want to have long-lived VMs that you manage the operating system configuration, you're going to provision those VMs. You might bake the the launch images using Packer, but then you might want to have rapid configuration using Ansible. So all of these layers of configurations get touched by different tools. Sometimes a tool like Terraform is extremely versatile. It might touch multiple of those layers. But depending on how you want to operate that workload, you might pick like a different tool that kind of focuses on one particular aspect of that layer. With Minecraft servers, we're going to be using Terraform and Packer, and we're going to be using the Terraform provider for Minecraft, which I've now found myself as the maintainer of. I don't
Congratulations.
know. I know. It's like, there we go. I found the Minecraft provider like on the registry, and I think it was originally built by HashiCorp employee many years ago, and it had one resource. It was just a block, and I loved it. You can do so much with just that one resource. Mm-hmm. But I've been adding all sorts of resources to it, like and we'll see in the demo. But it's been a really neat way for me also to learn like something that I've always wanted to get better at, was like how do I actually develop a Terraform provider, right? And like what are some of the design considerations in creating a resource or a data source? When do you have one resource that can do multiple modes, or when do you need like a specialized resource type, to make it easier for somebody to work with a more unique resource types. And I've been kind of exploring this, and like if you're a Minecraft person, like you probably know the resources that I'm talking about. There's certain blocks that are kind of weird in game, like a chest. When you place a chest, it has a special behavior when you place another chest right next to it, right? It becomes a double chest, right? And so some of these like nuances, like yes, technically it's just a block that's of type chest, but it behaves differently. And I see that pattern play out in the Azure M provider and the AWS provider all the time. But it like seeing it like in a very approachable way with like a Minecraft chest, it just makes it, I think, much more approachable for somebody who doesn't know all the conceptual overhead of AWS or Azure, to really understand like what the crux of that design decision happens to be. And so the beautiful thing about Terraform is it touches so many different things. Like Minecraft is one of those things, but it's the whimsical one. But there's a lot of actual work that gets done with. Oh, who's this? Hey, Cody, how's it going? Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for the shout out. Appreciate it. I was not expecting bubbles. Like, this is crazy.
Here's another one.
Yeah, we're high tech.
Oh man, we got questions coming in. So you can create
Yeah.
any resource you want using the provider. Only the resources that I enable. So Minecraft has its own underlying API, just like AWS and Azure, and I expose pockets of that API in a nice, comfortable way that makes sense, that's concise and meaningful, that helps people work in a Minecraft world more effectively. So it's like you can do it the hard way or you can do it the easy way, right? So each of these little resources in the Minecraft Terraform provider, like they're designed by me, like a human author that's trying to instill like ease of use into them so that developers that are going to construct Minecraft worlds with them have an easier time and they don't have to like mess with all the like yuck that might be happening behind the scenes in the Minecraft API. I could go into a lot of detail on that, but what is a Terraform provider? A Terraform provider is a piece of software that basically acts as an abstraction layer to allow you to pull the strings of an underlying API, and it allows you to write code that will basically pull those strings for you so that you can capture that code, maintain that code, and iterate on that code, to provision, stuff to whatever platform you're trying to talk to. Today, we're going to be looking at how to do it with Minecraft. And in that process of doing that, when we're trying to craft a nice, hearty, rabbit stew, there's a lot of responsibilities that go into that, to make a stew, right? Somebody's got to tend the carrot patch. Somebody's got to go hunt rabbit, right? Somebody's got to go chop down trees and make, carve wooden bowls, right? So it takes a team effort to manage infrastructure as code. And one thing that I really want to talk about is that distribution of, the work across different personas, because I see a lot of people online, I call it gatekeeping. It's like, developers shouldn't touch infrastructure as code. And I think that's wrong. I'm a developer. I'm a software developer. And at Microsoft, every single engineer has to, touch infrastructure as code, and they have to build the application code that runs on it, right? The service code that runs on it. And we have to ship our product, right? That's a DevOps team, right? And so I cringe when I see people say, no, developers shouldn't touch Terraform. And like, well, we're just injecting the old silos of the 90s, and giving it a new name, so I think there is some delineation between these two personas, but we need to find a way to collaborate together. And platform teams, I think, focus on that infrastructure that's kind of application agnostic, right? You provide like a compute platform, you provide a data platform, right? You might provide a network, right? And then you can attach workloads onto that. And then the application development focus shifts, more to the right side of this, where it's like, we're looking at application specific infrastructure, right? That might, use some shared infrastructure. Maybe we host on a Kubernetes cluster that a platform team maintains for us. Maybe there's like a database environment, that's awesome, that's multi-region or something like that we provision capacity within for ourselves, and maybe we are just focused on the release of our particular application in our kind of GitOps process. And I think that's where we need to kind of draw the line of like who does what. And when we do that, it's like we all are on the same mission, really, right? Because nobody just manages infrastructure just to manage infrastructure. Infrastructure is about hosting software, right? And it's about releasing software predictably, reliably. And that's what it's all about, right? We want stability in the software and enacting change within those environments. That's that goal. We're all on the same mission. We might just, have a different responsibility. And at the end of the day, that's our enchanted pickaxe, right? Now, to get to that pickaxe, like anybody that's played Minecraft knows, you don't just spawn and knock a couple blocks and now you got an enchanted pickaxe. It takes work. You got to mine ore, you got to create a crafting table, you got to smelt, not necessarily in that order, right? You got to do a lot of XP farming, right? It's a lot of work and there's a process to it, right? The same is true with infrastructure as code and your deployment model, right? And so just with enchanted pickaxe, the process is get diamonds, which is an effort in its own right. Get an enchantment table, enchant your pick, right? How do we deploy to production? Well, we got to bake our image, our Minecraft image that has our Minecraft server that's going to pop up ready to go. And then we need to provision that VM referencing that image and pop it out, right? And that's our enchanted pickaxe, right? That's our working software. In this case, it's Minecraft, right? And so how do we do that? Well, this is my Packer code. This is my Packer workspace for my Java edition of Minecraft. I got a Bedrock one too. I'd love to eventually support both versions of Minecraft through the Terraform provider for Minecraft, but right now I only support Java. Long story. But with Packer, I'm working with Packer and I'm working with Azure, and I'm provisioning to a VM image to Azure. I've done the same thing with Proxmox, right? Like it doesn't necessarily have to be Azure. You've got this code that will set up a Minecraft server with Packer. I can target any platform that I want to do. In the demo that you're going to see today, this is a Minecraft server actually hosted on my Azure subscription. But yeah, that's what this looks like. And then setting up the Terraform environment. This is that next step to getting our Minecraft server, right? I'm gonna spin up VMs. I got to spin up a network. I got to spin up a key vault to drop my SSH key in and stuff like that, so I can operate this environment, do Minecraft server upgrades, stuff like that, right? Maybe back up my worlds in case somebody griefs me, But and then to stitch it all together, right? I can use a GitOps process where I use something like GitHub Actions, Terraform stacks, whatever, where this will, anytime I make changes to, these pieces of the infrastructure in the Packer code or in the Terraform code, this will go and make that update, push those updates out to the environment, so that I don't have to go make a manual update to upgrade Minecraft. When there's a new version of Minecraft, I rebake an image that pulls the latest version of Minecraft, and I'm ready to go. Like next time I need to bring my server back online. So another thing that's pretty fun about exploring Terraform through Minecraft is Terraform's superpower of modularity, right? And that's taking primitive types and stitching them together in different ways to create success patterns, right? And you can see 3 success patterns here, right? Like I got a trunk there, right? And I got a mapping table, and I got like a podium, or I forget what it's called, but these are just taking primitive like wooden planks, right? Which really aren't very cool by themselves. But if we stitch them together, we add a little paper, boom, we got a mapping table. We add a bookshelf, now we got a podium. We do the same thing when we're creating success patterns on Azure or AWS using Terraform all the time, right? You take small things, create a success pattern for it, stitch it together with other success patterns to create a bigger thing, right? And so one of the things that we'll see later, and then you can add a little coal and you create fire, really interesting things, right? And we'll see that when we Terraform Minecraft. So what does Terraform Minecraft look like? It looks just like Terraform Azure, right? It's Terraform code. We use a different provider, but instead of provisioning VMs, VNets, whatever, I can provision a log cabin, a volcano, a golden pyramid, right? You will never have a Gapple drought ever again if you use this Terraform provider. You can provision a flock of pink sheep. That's one of the resources that I had. You can provision mobs, right? So anything that you can imagine in the game, this Terraform provider can let you provision. So it's obviously it's not like an enterprise use case, but for kids, for students, for gamers, or people that are just kind of wanting to have a little bit of fun on their Minecraft server, capture success patterns of maybe they've got a certain way they like to build their base. They can describe it in Terraform code, and they can build that base wherever they want to, over and over again. So it's just pretty fun. So anyways,
So I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Is this just like automating user actions, or like if you were to provision the base that you were talking about, what does that look like? Does it just pop into the world? Does it build each little block?
You're gonna
get to that.
Oh, that's in the live demo, baby. It's coming. Yeah. But yeah.
So I'm over here looking to see if Satisfactory has a Terraform provider, and if anyone knows Satisfactory, yes, it is an addiction. Unfortunately, there's not one.
So is Minecraft, actually.
Yes.
But no, yeah, and actually that's a really great point, because when people, I'm sure you guys have all seen a Terraform apply, right? It's not very interesting. No offense, sorry Armin, sorry Mitchell, but it's just a text scroll, right? It's just like it's like the Matrix, blonde, brunette, redhead, whatever. It just keeps going, right? But when you do a Terraform apply in Minecraft, and we're going to do this very shortly, it literally manifests right before your eyes. You can literally see it, just all the orchestration that Terraform is doing, this thing before that thing before this thing, and things in parallel. It's like no other Terraform apply you've ever seen in your life. I hope I'm not overselling it, but it's as somebody who's seen a lot of Terraform apply text scrolls, it's quite exciting.
Novels.
Yeah, exactly. So, so with the Terraform provider, it gives us a lot of opportunities to create to start from a very primitive. And what could be more primitive than a block, right? You have one block. And you can take that block, you give it a material. It could be any material in the game, and which kind of is a cheat code in and of itself. Because I can create diamond block as much as I can create dirt block, right? And you give it a 3-dimensional position, and that's it. From there, I can go and create modules that help me create more sophisticated structures, like a vector, right? That has a direction and a length, kind of like one-dimensional thing. And this is kind of what it would look like. You pass it in different parameters, and it makes it so. I can create a cuboid, which is now kind of like a 3-dimensional shape. And it kind of looks like that, and takes additional input variables. And then I can also create more bespoke, creations using those primitives. Hey, this is what my standard outpost should look like. And I'm going to put that thing together. And you can see it. You can see the Terraform apply construct. This is not the demo, by the way. We'll be getting to that. But this is just kind of showing how it works, right? And this is the design of these modules, right? So when I'm coding log cabin, right? It's I've got 4 pillars for the corners. And then I have a window with walls module, and then I have a wall with doors module, and then I have a cabin roof, right? Which actually could be my pyramid module, which we'll see me make extensive use of my pyramid module. And here's the golden pyramid. You can create a golden pyramid. So this is also a really interesting way for kids to just learn math and geometry, right? Because all you're doing in HCL really with this block resource is pushing pixels in a 3-dimensional space, right? so you can go nuts. Try and draw a curve. That's rather difficult because it's very blocky. It can be done. Not very precisely, but it can be done. One of the first things that I tried to do is create like a Romanesque kind of a what are those things called? Aqueduct. Yeah. Which is kind of fun. But every time you encapsulate that math to create that primitive structure, whatever that structure you're doing, using Terraform modules, you create a very user-friendly interface to do all that work, and the developer can stand on the shoulders of giants, so to speak, and now they have a super easy way to create a pyramid, right, or a log cabin or a castle or whatever from scratch. So that's kind of the whole, that's my last slide. I guess we could have questions, or like maybe I could field questions during demo time. So I got to stop sharing my slide deck and cut over to the code.
I was gonna circle back to, for me, as a DevOps engineer, the first thing I love to do is teach my devs how to use Terraform. I set up the infrastructure, get the Terraform all stood up, and then walk them through it. I'm like, hey, look, you can do stuff yourself. I don't have to be a roadblock for you. That is my first thing, is I teach them Terraform. Because a lot of times the developers that, I'll work with, they're kind of scared of it. And they're just like, I don't know it. I'm like, well, you're going to learn today.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing. And then I learned from them. They learned from me. And that's when I feel like DevOps is like true DevOps. And that's what makes me happy.
Absolutely. I, as a software developer, right? Like, I've never felt so much agency and control over my release process than when I had Terraform to help me provision my environments like that. And same with you. Like, anytime I'd start in a team, it's like we're building our environment Terraform, right?
Yeah.
Because
one of my favorite ways to get developers to really go like all in with Terraform is on the projects where we are working with AWS and we're using why is my mind going blank? But we're using like the built-in I want to say CloudFormation, but that's not it. Where we do all the logging. That's how brain dead I am.
CloudWatch.
Yes.
Oh, CloudWatch.
Like, if you've never set up like alarm and alert triggers in AWS using ClickOps, so like going through all the different screens of AWS.
That's brutal.
But Terraform is great, and that's when they'll start to fall in love with it, get comfortable, and then they're just like, well, what else can we Terraform? I'm glad you asked.
Glad you asked. Yeah.
I spent 30 seconds just looking for a log group the other day because they changed up their UI. They just keep adding more things to CloudWatch. I'm like, where is a log group? It's just like the most simple CloudWatch thing that I went to find, and I couldn't find it. Anyways, there is a demo coming. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe I should switch my screen. I think
we're trying to fill the time there, Mark. Come on,
yeah.
I think we have enough.
We're doing good, but yeah, be sure to like and subscribe.
let me
put a comment on the video. Let us know like some of your Terraform adventures. If you play Minecraft, let us know.
Let me start with just some of the code. Yeah. And
can you increase the font just a little bit, Mark?
Yeah. Let me see there. Whoa.
Perfect.
Whoa.
Nope, that's great.
Whoa. Okay. So yeah, so here's my MS Ignite demo. Okay. I created a special folder for it, and I have a lot of stuff in there. I basically, put like a parkour course, and I started putting some vector modules, and I stitched them together. So one of the things with this module library for primitives, I call it the primitives module library, right? Is that you have a start position, but then the module itself also outputs some connectors. So if you think about this, like go back way back to your Visio days, you drop a square on the Visio thing, the little corners have little, what are those things called? Connectors or, hotspots. I don't know what the technical
Or
term
like
is.
an anchor, maybe.
Yeah, like the anchor where you could connect something to it, right? So all of these primitive modules, the outputs of the module is an anchor. I'm gonna just roll with it, and you can use those anchors as the start point. So this is a white vector module. It's just white wool, and I basically use the end position of that vector as the start position for my blue vector, right? So and we'll see this in game, like I'm just connecting little lines of different colors of wool together using that endpoint position, right? But as we get more complex, right? Like this is this is a tube module, where it has a diameter. It draws a hollow cylinder, which is like a tube, right? The internet works on those, right? And you give it a direction, just like a vector, and you also give it a material, and you give it a start position, right? And then this tube outputs all like little anchors for the center position of the tube, the bottom, the top, the left, the right, things like that. And then you can continue to bounce off those, and you'll see, like, I kind of draw like sprites, from some of these modules to show you. I draw vectors from these anchors to show you where the anchors are, so you can kind of get an idea of how this works. And we've got square frames. We got some pyramids here. Again, the pyramid has just a position, and it has this transform, which allows you to, offset from the start position. And I also, here's that pink sheep, right? So, I got, a color attribute. And then what else do we have? Oh, I also dropped some baby zombies. So this is a Minecraft zombie resource that I created, and there's an is baby attribute on it, right? And if you want to make that baby really, really, really bad, like it can break doors, pick up loot, you can give it like OP health. Yeah, it's you can kind of hurt yourself pretty bad.
That's not what a baby does.
Well, baby zombies and yeah, they're one of the most ferocious mobs in Minecraft. But
a baby zombie, that's terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll see some of those here pretty soon. I'm gonna drop this share, and I'm gonna go into my world. I apologize for the gymnastics here. Share window, and we're gonna share the Minecraft world. Okay,
There we go.
and there we go. So let me game mode creative so I can fly around a little bit. So there's not a lot going on over here. Okay, I don't want you to see the other stuff, but I'm just gonna place myself right here.
Don't look over here.
Yeah, and I'm gonna come back into the game. Sorry, I gotta set to daytime. So I'm running Terraform apply in the background, and you're gonna see all this stuff get built right before your very eyes.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Right, it happens so fast. It's almost like the blink of an eye, right? But you got to see all that stuff get constructed. And over here, here's that parkour course, right? With those interconnected vectors, right? There's probably that white wool one, and then the blue one that comes off of that. And this is the tube module, right? So it creates like you give it a diameter, and it generates a tube with that diameter. And then I basically connect these two tubes together. Those are those anchors that come off of the output of that tube. And you can see one anchor is the center point of the tube, and then you got the top and the bottom and the left and the right, right? And then these tubes also, all the modules, as in a three-dimensional space, can go east, west, north, south, up and down, right? So I'm kind of demonstrating the directionality of these modules, as well as kind of testing it, to make sure that all the math is, the math is mathing, right? And you can see I got my square frame modules over here as well. And, this is my pyramid module, which the pyramid also has connectors, right? At the important locations on a pyramid. And, my son would be quite proud. He often creates little parkour courses. Oh, you didn't see that, I didn't just fall there, but, that's the thing is you do these parkour courses and you can't fall and you get street credit and stuff like that. But notice I have this pyramid here, but I changed the material and I added one lava block at the top, right? And now that, what used to be kind of a not interesting, 8x8 pyramid is a pretty massive 20 by 20 volcano, right? And this is kind of a more bespoke thing I built for Ignite. I just created, I recreated the Microsoft logo that people took selfies in front of, right? Nobody actually joined my server. I was kind of sad about that. I was like, you can take a digital selfie in front of the Minecraft logo, but to my knowledge, nobody did that. But.
That was probably too nerdy, Mark. They were like, "Oh no, we're married to a woman."
Yeah, I know. Sorry. So let me populate a flock of pink sheep. So I'm just changing the count on my sheep resource to 100, and we're gonna spit out these sheep here. There we go. Look at that.
Oh God.
No, that
was horrible.
That looks like a problem.
Well, if you
need
sheep
catching on fire. Oh,
well,
right.
Sheep are kind of dumb and they kind of walk into the flames and stuff.
You didn't have to put them next to all those fire pits.
I know. But guys, so this was a demo, and I thought it was so perfect because it's what is that age-old DevOps words of wisdom? Pets versus cattle, right?
Yeah.
And so in real time, I'm demonstrating this. Look at this sheep's name. Is that a name of a pet, or is that a name of a cattle, right? And so just with one little change in Terraform, I'm going to exercise. I'm going to show you what happens to cattle versus pets, right? I mean, with pets, I don't worry because I can bring them back. Right, so I just murdered all my sheep, right?
Lamb chops for dinner.
Yeah, a lot of lamb chops I can make, right? But that's the whole thing about pets versus cattle. You're not attached to them; they don't have names, right? Their names were all goods because you pop them in the head if they get unhealthy, and you can bring them back.
What?
Right? So just literally, I did nothing fancy. I changed the count from 0 to 100 to bring the sheep to provision the sheep, and then I changed the count back to 0 to delete them all. It's just basic Terraform stuff, right?
What's the white one?
Whole herd.
Now, so in Minecraft, mobs kind of spawn randomly. So
Okay.
this guy doesn't have a name. So
Okay, the way you're about to have me start playing Minecraft is insane. Not
yeah,
even.
Dude, it's super fun. A gentleman that I met at Microsoft Ignite, he posted today, and I got a real big kick out of it. He's like, because one of my jokes is all right, I hope you're ready for this talk. It's literally just me up here playing Minecraft for 30 minutes. But there we go.
So can you eat the chops that are hanging out down there?
Yeah, totally.
Before we get into the actual Minecraft questions, I have a couple of Terraform questions.
We're playing video games now, Chris.
I know. But I want to learn how to play this particular video game. So
Got it.
I'm looking at your provider, Mark. So I apologize to everybody. I first posted the original provider that Mark forked, which had the one resource block in it, and then I posted that. That's the wrong one. The right one is the one that Mark has on his GitHub repo, Mark TI, and I posted the link for that one as well. So each sheep is okay. Back to the pyramids and the other stuff that you were deploying before. Is each module are you providing just the location and the material type, and then it builds it out, or how are you when you Terraform apply? Can we look at the code? Can we look at some of the Terraform code?
Oh yeah. Let me go back to that.
Oh wait, do you have to change screens again?
I do. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
all right.
Like my Mac was not having a good day. So
Well, so before we cut away, then, is there anything more that we wanted to do in here before we
Swing
get to
the
that?
sword.
swing the sword.
Yes.
There you go.
She wants you to kill zombie
Yeah.
babies.
Yay.
Bye. Oh, they're probably pretty OP. This is a diamond sword, man. I think when I gave them 20 health, that was probably a bad idea.
Wow.
But time, set, day, they're all gonna burn in the sun, right? Because zombies can't survive in daylight. But
That's
so
vampires.
this is some of the mobs in Minecraft. In Minecraft, mobs burn in the sun. So here's more of me just kind of demoing the stuff that I built. Look at this tube that just goes on for infinity. I created a tube out of glass block. It's kind of a fun, almost Tron-like effect.
Yeah.
And then I created a triangle module, right, which is fun. And then I also created this. I created the castle, right? But I just started like a Greco-Roman kind of thing, and this, I guess, is like a ziggurat, so I created a ziggurat primitive, and yeah, you can make some pretty sick, Greek structures. So yeah, that's pretty much it in world. We'll switch back to the code, and
Cool.
We'll show you how all this stuff works.
Can you make resources appear, or do you still have to go grind those things
What do you mean?
like wood or
Diamonds or something?
diamonds?
Oh yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah, those are just blocks. Yeah.
No, but can you
Yeah.
like terraform those into existence, or do you have to go farm for them in the world,
Oh, like put them in your inventory?
or whatever?
Or
I don't know.
collect them?
I'm not a
in,
Minecraft person.
In creative mode, you can just make stuff. You don't have to go
Okay.
farm the wood to then make the ziggurat. You could just make the ziggurat.
Got it.
So here's the modules, right? So like the vector module, it's extremely simple.
Mhm.
Every module I use this transform. This is actually a module. All this module does, I probably should write this as a built-in function using the new version of Terraform, but I've got to upgrade my provider framework. Maybe somebody can help me with that.
See what we can do.
all that does is transform the position, and I'm basically creating a fill with these start and end locations. So this Minecraft fill is a much more efficient way of dropping large quantities of block within the world. Otherwise, if you just use, that was one of the inefficiencies that the original provider, which is an amazing thing. I love it. Whoever created it, thank you. I think his name's Eric. Thank you so much. But like, if I try to create a golden pyramid from just that block, it takes forever because it has to place every single block, one at a time. Even though it can do it in parallel, the Minecraft control plane, that's just very inefficient operation. Fill lets me just, one operation, I can just jam, hundreds and hundreds of blocks. It's pretty awesome. So most of my primitive modules are using this Minecraft fill in different ways. And so and then once I've built those base modules, right? Like my triangle module, I think I'm basically just using the vector module, right? Over and over again. Yeah. So was there something you guys wanted to see inside the code?
I'm also kind of curious. Can other people play Minecraft with this? Is all of this public, or is this where are the links for it?
Yeah, let me all you need is a Java edition Minecraft server. And you just need to enable some settings in your server properties, and then you are off to the races. Let Let me see.
Because you have several Minecraft repos in here. I wasn't sure which one was the one to get started from.
Yeah. Should I switch to that screen or leave it on the code?
Oh, whichever you want.
Okay. Let me just pop over to my GitHub. There we go. So if I go to repos, so yeah, here we go. So this is the provider. This is the module library. And I've started a castle module library, right? So this is the fork. And so if you go in here,
right,
you'll see all the resources that I've created. You know, like the bed resource, which beds are actually pretty complex from a placement standpoint because they have special behaviors and they have to be placed in a certain way. Stairs also are rather complex.
I can see that.
And then
that seems like a natural thing. Like stairs should be complex.
Yeah, because like and stair it's one of those things like in Lego. Like Lego has, you know, I forget what they call it per se, but it's like where you use blocks for different purposes than what they were intended for.
Mm-hmm.
And the same is true with Minecraft, you know, designs. Like people use you know, different block types in Minecraft to just create interesting, you know, effects. Text, whether it be texturing or whatever, and stairs is a critical one of that. Yeah, so I actually like worked on this as part of the Microsoft Global Hackathon, and we came in third place. And so I had had a couple of teammates that pumped out a couple of these resources, and yeah, it was a heck of a lot of fun. The we won third place in the approachable gaming category.
Nice.
Yeah, the CEO of
category
Xbox. Yeah, it was pretty fun. You know, and then this is the module library that, you know, I'm showing you guys, and you know what constituted most of the, you know, Terraform applies in my MS Ignite demo, where I've got, you know, all those, you know, the ziggurat, vector, tube, triangle, stairs, stair tread, pyramid, etc.
Nice.
And the idea is like, you know, once some of these primitives have been set up, then you can go build more robust things like, you know, a medieval castle module library, or a, you know, Greco-Roman, or a, you know, Japanese, Chinese kind of architecture module library to help you build in different architectural styles in the game. That's like the, you know, I get the vision, so to speak, but yeah.
Glenn Yu is giving you crap for your light mode, by the way, in chat.
I don't recognize light mode GitHub.
There's a dark mode.
when he
my goodness.
Oh,
I mean,
my sweet summer child.
There's a dark mode for everything.
Okay.
Except for Gmail, it's dumb because email. Yeah.
And LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Dark mode on LinkedIn just looks wrong. I don't know what it is, but LinkedIn dark mode is
Oh,
evil.
it has a dark mode? Does it just like hide all the soul suck?
It's
the lights are out?
No. It's still awful. It's just
Really? It looks fine to me.
you like LinkedIn dark mode?
It looks the same as the light one. Like, are you using a plugin or the
LinkedIn
I've got to see
dark
this.
mode,
This is very important to me.
It looks wrong.
Does it? Looks fine to me.
Yeah, I did not know that there was a dark mode for LinkedIn either. And
for me, the one that kind of looks wrong at times is dark mode for Word. That's a hit or miss for me sometimes.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I use dark mode for Outlook now, but Word, I mean, that's paper. I need that. I need paper to be paper looking.
It doesn't look
Anyway, sorry, we've completely derailed. Welcome to the last episode of vBrownBag 2025.
Dark mode for Word.
For Atlassian products are amazing, by the way. Confluence, Jira, it makes your life a little bit better.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways.
No, I was gonna ask, so with doing this And I want to say, like at the beginning, you were mentioning, connecting with the kiddo. So has there been any interest from the kiddo with dabbling into this, or?
He's kind of moved on to Fortnite.
Fair enough.
So, yeah.
Fair
So are
enough.
you gonna make no, you can't make a Fortnite provider. That's too. There's no infrastructure there.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. But no, I have seen some students post online about that they're actually using my provider, and
Nice.
they're creating modules like for kind of similar to this. Like they created like a hut or a house. I don't want to like disparage anybody's like build or anything, but it was like a cabin, but for a base. And I'm like, heck yeah, man, go nuts. That's what it's there for,
This is 100 by 100 blocks. It's not a hut, sir.
This is technically a McMansion. Thank you very much.
Well, this is really cool.
Yeah.
How can you use this to make people's lives more difficult on Minecraft?
Well, I mean, you can definitely spawn an obsidian cage around somebody, and then or you could spawn a bedrock, which is an unbreakable block in Minecraft.
Awesome.
So you could use that material, and it would actually be an intriguing way to protect your loot, right? If you ran a Terraform apply to encase your chest, with your loot in it in bedrock, and then nobody, because like when you're off game, like people can come grief your base, and take your stuff. So
Really? That's
yeah.
no fun.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a Clash of Clans for anyone that happens to know that one. It's a mobile game, but yeah, when you're not there to defend.
Did that.
Dude, I loved me some Clash of Clans, but then they did Clash Royale, and I fell in love with that one instead.
My son plays Clash Royale. Yeah.
I just want to say that Microsoft Solitaire added some new casual games, and they're pretty great.
Is it
But is there a dark mode? Is there a dark mode?
There is not. There is not. And I only play the ones that allow the audio to be muted. I don't want to interrupt my audiobook when I'm playing boomer games. Come on now.
Someone today at a meeting, we were encouraged to wear like our ugly Christmas sweaters. Someone had a Clippy Christmas sweater.
That sounds awesome.
I've seen that one.
Like, oh my god, nice.
We just had a multi-cloud holiday party here in Columbus, and I always try and wear an ugly Christmas sweater. And I wore last year I wore my MS-DOS, ugly Christmas sweater. This year I wore my Zune. I was a
nice.
human version of this. I had life-size buttons. If they created a 6 foot tall human sized Zune, like I had all the buttons. Like it was pretty cool.
Glenn has a question. Can you build stuff around another player in the sense that if you can you detect a player's position and then slap a cage around them?
I think there is APIs to one of the things that I haven't explored is like data sources, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure there are data sources like I could create a data source for player information, and that could be possible. The only problem is you got to run a Terraform apply
to find the player. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So like they might be moving while that happens. So.
Well, that was pretty fast. I mean, you could, if you made a large enough cage, you could like get a radius around them to catch them in time.
Yeah. You could make if you made the net big enough, you could probably do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
is there a way to build something in game and then create a resource out of that?
Like import it?
Yes. Like export it from the game, and like I want to build this crazy banana statue from now on that I did once, and I want to be able to replicate, right? Like, could you do that?
I mean,
why my video is so dark? But anyways, yeah. Is that possible?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we are creating blocks in Minecraft, and to be honest, like I am not like a super expert of like all of the Minecraft mods out there, but it is a huge ocean of like Minecraft aficionados that like build all sorts of mods and things like that for Minecraft. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was some mod out there that would let you like capture the block structure and then export it into like a 3D thing. At Microsoft Ignite, there was a huge Lego mock, my own creation of an Azure data center, and it was built by one of the like finalists of what is it, Master Built Lego Masters. Yeah,
Mhm.
I love that show, and he was the finalist on season 2, and I got to talk to him, and he told me in passing his main job is like a Minecraft level builder, right? So I'm like, oh, dude, I gotta tell you about my talk. Of course, I'm sure like I'm like, low IQ mode compared to like the tools that he uses, but I was like, he humored me, and he watched me terraform some Minecraft. He's like, that's really cool. He was nice about it, but he's like,
bless your heart, Mark.
Bless your heart. He's like, and then he's like, yeah, there's like actually, like, it's almost like those 3D modeling softwares like that are just for Minecraft, where like they do designs in Minecraft, and then they can copy and paste them in game. I don't know how it works, but like there is an ocean of Minecraft mods out there. Damien, you should go check that out. Give a talk on that next year, 2026.
I don't know if I have enough room for that kind of crazy. I feel like I'm all sold out, like
yeah. My cup runneth over with projects, and I still haven't gotten to. One of our previous speakers, Duan, he had like just a mountain of links of things to like go through for study purposes for like all this. Anyway, long story short, I still have yet to go through like, there's so much to study. There's so much to learn.
Indeed.
For me, matter of fact, me and Damien were kind of talking about this not too long ago. I want to start creating my own 3D printing, stuff. Right now, I just kind of use other people's stuff and print it out. I don't have the bandwidth.
I know. Yeah. Like if there's so many hobbies that like I would pick up if money was not an object,
Money and time.
Hey, Matt, how's it going, man?
Matt Bonnig is one of the AWS heroes. He's been traveling the world, the United States in an RV, and today he's in Vernon, Texas, and he popped in to say hi to everybody.
Nice. Thanks, Matt.
Welcome to Texas.
Good, long time no see, man.
Where is
Awesome
Vernon, Texas?
All right.
I don't know. It's somewhere I've never driven to. I know it exists.
That's one more than me.
I don't think we're cold right now, so there's that.
Well, Charlotte and David are both in Texas, so
it's mostly outside of Wichita Falls, so it's on the way from Wichita Falls to Amarillo.
Got it.
So you can be totally forgiven for not knowing where it is, because that part of Texas should have gone to Oklahoma. It was terrible.
Like I've gone that way once in my life, and I was on a train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Driving to Amarillo, and you're like, it smells like a cattle yard here. This is no good.
That El Paso, like just things I've done once, and I'm good.
Lubbock, it feels like sadness in a city. Anyways, sorry. This is not the Texas podcast.
And we happen to be a little bit over, so we're going to wrap this one up.
Yes.
The 5 give. So I did the drawing on the side while we were having our conversation about Texas, and Pandalai 18, HISUWI, Hisui, Suwisme, SUWYISEME, Neutralized Glenn, and Cody Codes Cloud, who was in the beginning. I don't know if he's still here. Congratulations, all 5 of you have won the AWS credits for the final giveaway for the end of the year for vBrownBag. Please get in touch with me, either DM me inside of YouTube or find me over on LinkedIn, and I will get you your $50 compute credit for your AWS account. So congratulations.
Absolutely.
No Azure credits. Come on, man. What's up?
If you know what, Mark, if you want to get me some Azure credits to give away, I would be more than happy to have that conversation with you.
Oh, yeah, I'll see what I can do, man.
Yeah, get me in touch with somebody. I will happily have that conversation inside of Microsoft and give some away.
Let's go.
Cool. All right. Well, everybody have a wonderful holiday season. The end of the year. We are done. This is the last one. We are putting a pin in it for the year. We will do the annual wrap, but that will be offline. So no more podcast for the year. We will start up again in January. Our next person is JJ. He's coming back on to do an LLM talk. So
Cool.
we're gonna learn a little bit about Granite and how to run modules locally using Granite and Terraform. So that will be fun as well.
Nice.
Yeah. Any last thoughts for 2025, folks? Shala, what are you doing? What are you doing for the holidays? Okay, well, Damien, what do you got?
No, there's the new YouTube stuff that I'm doing, so I got to do that. And then there's some stuff I want to start getting into AI wise, with like MCP servers and stuff. Matter of fact, the stuff like DeJuan was talking about. So
Studying, just like me. Mark, any plans for the holidays? Are you traveling anywhere? Or are you staying home for the rest of the year?
I'll be down in Florida for the holidays, but
Fun.
Yeah. Just
Cool.
change the scenery. Yeah.
Yeah. You can experience warm weather.
yeah.
I'll be in North Florida, so it'll be a little
Okay.
chilly, but sweater weather. That's I'm Norwegian heritage, so I kind of like sweater weather.
You'll be
Right.
fine. Cool. All right. Well, everybody have a wonderful evening. Mark, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate
Thanks for
you
having me.
closing out the year for us with such a great talk. And we will see you all in the new year. All right. Bye,
Cheers.
everybody.
See you guys.
Bye.